Hey, shalom, 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 shalom. If you can hear me, go ahead and give me a shalom. So, into it, we won't be on here too long, but I wanted to go over some things, and there we go. Make sure we're all good. You can see, 2025 class for known as ITF Plus. It is a information security, information technology certification. It's not a certificate, it's a certification. And very, very important with the way things are right now, right? So brief greetings here. My brother Charles, how are you doing? Good to see you, Aki. We got In Cabrera, good to see you. And Adiyab, Beni Israel, good to see you as well. Praise Yah, praise Yah. Please go ahead and share this on your social platforms. You can share this anywhere. We're going to jump right into this because it's highly important. So I would say the past year, 2024, we didn't do anything. Right? There was no classes in 2024, primarily because I was relocating, moving. My contract position had expired and had to relocate, semi-retirement, figuring that whole thing out, right? But the economy is so, and the challenges that we're facing as a people is pretty extreme. And we're going to talk about those things. This is not our first rodeo. We've done about 4 of these, actually about 5 of these different courses online, primarily for Hebrews, but it's open to anyone. That being said, understand that this is a religious or spiritual ministry. This is a ministry. And so although this is open to anyone, the primary target is the Hebrews that are scattered throughout the diaspora that need to upskill, right? You're looking at people who are fresh out of high school, and they're looking to transition their career path. This is going to be a good method and a good path to take. There's a lot of conflicting information, deceptive information out there in regards to the state of things. So I'm going to clear, right? Artificial intelligence, all right? Artificial intelligence is here, and it's affecting, or at least being blamed on the layoffs and different things, right? And so I want to clarify some things that's kind of out there, and also I'm also going to answer any questions you might have. Now I'm using Restream right now. I've been using it for a few years, but I haven't really been like getting in on it like that to know how it works. For now, you guys just pose your questions in the chat and I'll respond. But I'm even open to calling someone up into this live stream to have an actual audible conversation. So it's all good there. Let's go ahead and pray, and then we're going to jump right into this. So I'll give you guys a few moments to go ahead and get ready. All right. Abiyah, thank you for this time that my family and I have this opportunity to fellowship. We invite you into this space, and we thank you for the breath of life. Thank you for strengthening me and encouraging me in my walk and in ministry, doing all these marvelous things in your name and for the glory of your name and for the service of your people. I pray that this live stream is a blessing to those that view it and watch it, that are watching now and will watch it in the future. I lift up every household represented here this day, and I ask that your hand of shalom, peace, and blessings be upon them, that you intervene in their circumstances and situation, and that you bless them with divine health, healing, and wholeness in body, mind, and spirit. We pray this now. All that agree, say amen. In the name of your Son, our King and Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach. All right. All right. Praise you. So, again, part of the reason why I want to go ahead and start this back up again in regards to our Hebrews in Tech Get Certified Bootcamp is that there's a need to have an employment, an interview, and a certification bootcamp in our community. Now, those of you that may not know, these boot camps are very expensive. I've given the testimony in the past when I was in my teens, late teens, as a young man. My older cousin, Chris, came to town, came to visit my family, and he was a big, 6'4", tech guy, doing well for himself. And he already knew I was into technology and computers back in the day. And he was like, "Hey, young man, you got to get up on this." And I was like, "Okay, bet. Let me see what I can do." I found a boot camp. They weren't called boot camps back then, but that's pretty much what it was. It was like a 5-day boot camp for what was then known as the Microsoft MCSC certification. It was like an engineering certification. The course was running several $1,000s. My family wasn't broke, but we didn't have no thousands of dollars like that. So anyway, over the course of that year, maybe a year and a half, I did every job I could do to think of to try to get the money to go ahead and do this training. By the time I got the money for the training and I submitted my application to do the training, I got the email, it was canceled. And I'm like, I can't believe they canceled. Why'd they cancel? They couldn't find enough students to take the course. It wasn't, I guess, worth it financially for them to do the training. And I'm the sole guy that struggled and busted my butt to be able to take that training, right? And so, yeah, that's always stuck with me as a young Hebrew Black man wanting to get and break out into technology, knowing that there was a career path for me, but not knowing how to get there, trying to do this boot camp only to be shut out. That was a challenge for me. That was a serious challenge for me. So that being said, here today, and also again, I've been doing this since 2023. We've had approximately 101 students that have gone through. Several have attained their certifications, whether it was ITF plus or whether it was A plus. And I'm very proud of those students that have gone through and succeeded, and they're doing well right now. I want to make sure that we open this up again for our people. All right. A couple of things that we have a challenge with. We have an issue with literacy. Being blunt, you already know how I'm going to be direct. We got an issue with literacy, reading comprehension, and math, right? Nobody's going to help us but us. All right. And so for you, no matter where you are, no matter what state you're in, transition into a career in technology. Now, most of our people, being blunt, don't make a lot of money. On average, the median income is not very high. We do have ability of changing that, but that's going to come down to us investing into ourselves and providing resources to each other to help us out. Okay. So what I'm going to do is kind of go over some things that I've been kind of seeing. And I think I'm going to start off with the latest topic that came out. The last 90 days, it was already bad before, going between February and June of this year. The labor market was pretty bad, but especially for the Daughters of Zion, y'all got that hammer. It is what it is, but we're going to work around it. All right. When it came down to the perceived DEI hire situation, they conveniently decided to target Black women and letting go of the daughters of Zion as y'all getting cut first. And we know how it is, we get cut first, right? It is what it is. They're going to preserve themselves over us, just being blunt. So let's play this video and we can talk about it in chat. Good to see everybody. Let me go ahead and here we go. Hopefully you guys can hear this.
Welcome back. Well, there is a troubling shift in the American workforce that is hitting close to home.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 300,000 Black women have left their jobs over the past 3 months, and experts are calling it a silent crisis.
That's right. So 11 Alive's race, culture, and religion reporter Danielle Nottingham dug more into this report. Danielle, you spoke to women who are experiencing this loss. I mean, 300,000, that's a huge number. What are you learning?
The numbers are very, very shocking. And what I was learning about the women I spoke to today, is that they feel like this is another moment where Black women have gotten the short end of the stick. And just to look at some numbers, the national unemployment rate right now is 4.2%. For Black women, it's 6.3%. So we've heard the numbers, and I think now it's time that we put a face to the crisis. 300,000.
Before we continue, can you guys hear okay? Leave me a comment in the chat.
Black women gone in just 90 days. And behind the numbers are real people like Jamie Pleasant.
It is disturbing. It's beyond surprising. It's extremely disturbing. When people looked at the list, it was all people who look like me. It was pretty much, I won't say all of them, but it was predominant. The majority of us look like me.
Jamie worked at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and says her dismissal in May wasn't just unexpected, it felt targeted.
You want to believe in this day and age that things like that are still not going on, that we are targeted, given the impact that we make, given what we bring to the table, given our education, given our expertise, given our commitment to the roles. But at the end of the day, if it has to be me and Sally, it's Sally.
Allison Todd tells a similar story. She was let go from the United Way in June after 10 years. Another highly qualified professional suddenly without a job.
We have a bright light. Most of us have double degree, advanced degree. I have my graduate degree. We have experience beyond experience.
Experts say the mass exit is driven in part by budget cuts in the federal and public sectors and the dismantling of DEI programs where Black women historically have held positions.
A Black woman is resilient, no matter what she's been through. As a Black woman, you have to be. And what I found was a lot of us were managing up. Is that what it is when you manage the people who are in charge of you? Sharing information with them, onboarding them so that they could successfully let us go.
Allison is now turning to entrepreneurship, helping business owners build their own companies. And Jamie is returning to the job market, optimistic for her future.
I just want to encourage those out there in my same situation to, don't give up hope. There's still a need for us. Just wake up with the purpose every day of knowing that you bring value.
And it's also worth noting that Jamie graduated from Clark Atlanta University and has a master's in public health with epidemiology as her specialty. So we're talking about very qualified, very educated women who are finding themselves on the sidelines when it comes to employment.
Yeah, and especially after spending.
All right, fam, I want to highlight something that was just said there. I'm going to rewind it so you guys can catch it again. A few seconds. Hopefully I get it right.
Yeah, and especially after spending
a master's in public health with epidemiology as her specialty. So we're talking about very qualified, very educated women who are finding themselves on the sidelines when it comes to employment.
Yeah.
All right. So let me go back. You can see me properly. All right. So here's the reality of the current job market, the labor market in America. Okay. It's really happening around the world, but definitely happening here in America. Okay. We are in a major transition that's violent. It's It started out very silent and with deception, but it's very violent. We've seen the results of it. Every last one of us, including myself, have to upskill. There's no way around it. Just feel me right now on the weight of what I'm saying. You all, every last one of us, including myself, in order to transition properly till the Most High comes, have to upskill. If you do not upskill, it's about to be violently bad for you. And I'm not saying that because you already know I'm very careful with my language and what I speak, right? So I'm not speaking nothing negative. It's just the reality of what's happening right now. I don't want our people to be reactionary and on the short end of the stick. Every last one of us, including myself, have to upskill our skills, our knowledge, our abilities in different ways. One of those ways is going to be technology, and I'll clarify what I mean by technology. Another option that doesn't necessarily apply here, but in regards to the employment or the career bootcamp style aspect of this course, there are some of us that are going to have to take on jobs that were not necessarily appealing previously, but they're going to be very appealing in the future, right? So things like being a farmer, being an electrician, right? Construction work, that's going to be in very high demand here soon, right? So even if you're not a tech person or, white collar type move like that, you're more blue collar, there's going to be options available to you if you get the proper skills and training to make it happen. I will also say this. It's twofold. Many of us are going to have to get out of the employee mindset and start our own businesses. And I don't mean, don't get mad at me. I'm just talking legit, right? I'm not just simply saying a side hustle, Shopify, or it's cool, right? Many of us have Shopify or Etsy stores, or we sell little things here and there. We're all good. That's great. I'm talking about like career. I'm talking about living well, right? In this transitioning market and environment. Okay. Many of us are going to be required to start our own businesses. Okay. So that might not be you, but for many of us, you're likely, if you want to have the lifestyle you're looking for, you're going to have to see about starting your own business. Everyone has been conditioned and trained over the years to be an employee in America, right? Many of the millennials, like my little brother, millennial, was sold on the idea of go to school, complete your high school education, go to college or university, undergrad, graduate, get into mad student loan debt, because when the US government began to subsidize education, what happens? All the different educational houses start raising their prices to get that government tax money. So now you got prices for school through the roof because it's being subsidized by the government, but it's always a catch. And now we got all this crazy student loan debt at 17% interest rate, something crazy, right? We got problems. And so now the way that automation is taking place, now the way that AI is being implemented in all these different organizations and companies, a lot of us are buried in debt. We're buried in debt in a degree that's worthless. I gotta be blunt. It's worthless. So now you looking at this crazy money you owe that's being, compound interest type move, right? It's all bad. again, every last one of us, including myself, we are not going to escape having to upskill real world today. Okay. So I just got to say that. All right. We saw on the video 300,000 Black women, specifically Daughters of Zion, lost their job over the past 3 months. That's, if you average it out, that's 100,000 jobs destroyed in the past 3 months, each month for 3 months. All right. And the bottom line is that we're going to have to upskill. Okay. I got some more videos to show. And again, if you have any questions so far, go ahead and pop it into the chat. What you're seeing on the screen right now, top left-hand side, is the register now QR code. I'm going to do this on landscape view, and then I'm going to do another version on the kind of like the TikTok style later. But just for ease of use right now, you know, desktop is going to be where it's at for this live. Yes. So the register now QR code is going to take you to a Google form. It's going to give you some information about the course that we're going to be doing beginning on September 7th. Okay. And this is a virtual instructor-led course. This is not 15 videos for over 6 hours for you to watch where someone speed runs through the material, right? You'll have me there as your instructor. Those of you that don't know, I'm beyond certified and have been doing this work for over 15 years. As far as CompTIA level of certifications, I have the highest certification you can get through them, which is so we got. All right. I'm having some connection issues, which is always convenient, but we'll get through it. And like I said, I'll do this multiple times as we lead up to the actual day for training and get that done. But I'll just say this on the front end for those that just want it to the point. If you want to go ahead and get more information about the certification training that we're going to be doing, the Employment and Interview Bootcamp, just go ahead and click on the, or navigate to the QR code for register now, and that will take you to the Google form. Review it, fill it out. Those of you that are members, active members on Hebrew Connect, there is a immediate $25 discount on HebrewConnect.com. So all you got to do is just go to the marketplace, pull up the Get Certified training, and you can pay it through there. It's easy, right? And again, this is a ministry. Although this training is open to anyone, this is a ministry, and we're going to make sure that we take care of those within the ministry. All right. So let's keep going. Let me go ahead and go over the next issue we got to deal with. Okay. And this is, you know, those of you that know me know that my heart is for our youth. I've been blessed to have been able to train up some teenagers. I was reluctant. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of reluctant to have any teenagers in the course because of a maturity factor, but they came, right? So I'm very proud of the teenagers that came through. So this training will be appropriate for anyone who's between the age of 15 and above, okay? If they're under 15, I don't know. We got to talk, okay? We definitely got to talk. But let's keep going here. My heart is for the youth. I'm not sure when I'll be able to do it, but likely soon. I want to get out to Baltimore. Our people need some serious help in Baltimore, and I'm not saying there's nobody trying to help them, but it's just not looking too good. Okay. So the next few videos, we're going to kind of go over some things happening in Baltimore that have kind of pulled on my heart the past few years. And I just definitely feel like we need to support each other. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get to it.
More stunning findings by our Project Baltimore team after Fox 45 obtained unredacted state test scores for every school in Baltimore City.
Now, these results have not yet been released to the public, but Chris Papps has been analyzing them, and what he discovered is hard to believe, even at the highest performing schools in the city.
When it comes to the most recent Maryland state test scores,
I can't tell how horrible that is.
there's a consensus.
Parents, guardians need to be outraged.
What Project in these unredacted test results is a problem.
Do you find it acceptable that there's 13 high schools in Baltimore City with no students proficient in math?
No. At 13 Baltimore City high schools, not a single student who took the 2023 math exam in the spring scored proficient. Not one.
It's sad and it's disheartening because today, more than ever, the school system has the money and the resources.
We obviously are not doing enough.
This is when people get fired.
Project Baltimore made the discovery after the unredacted test scores for every school in Baltimore City. The data has not yet been released to the public, but we didn't just find 13 city high schools with 0 students who tested proficient in math. We also looked at the city's top schools, and what we discovered there may be just as alarming. According to the state test results, these are Baltimore's 5 top performing high schools in terms of math proficiency. At these schools, a combined 809 students took the state math test in the spring. 92 students tested proficient, meaning a total of about 11% of students are proficient in math at the best high schools in Baltimore. When Maryland public school students take the state test, their scores place them in one of 4 categories. Level 1 is beginning, all the way up to level 4, distinguished. Of the 92 students who tested proficient in math at the 5 best Baltimore City high schools, all 92 tested into level 3. There were no level 4s. In fact, there was not one high school student in the entire city in math who achieved the highest level of proficiency. City School CEO Dr. Sonia Santelises last year earned $445,000 in total compensation.
And I will just continue to say,
of Maryland's 24 public school systems, she's the highest earning leader. And since 2016, she's been leading the state's lowest performing district.
if I were mayor right
Wait a minute. I need to pause on that one. Hold on a second. Wow. Wow. Fam, that's out of control. All right, let's keep going.
now,
Sheila Dixon, a Democrat candidate for mayor of Baltimore, says she's seen enough. She has already called for the CEO of city schools to resign. Tuesday morning, she appeared on Fox 45 News, calling for more accountability.
We've got to have answers, and we can't just get a press release from the school system saying that we're working on it.
City schools will not do an interview with Fox 45 to give the public answers. But the district did explain in a statement that in 7 of 8 grade levels, math proficiencies in spring 2023 did increase from the previous year. The statement went on to say, "We acknowledge that some of our high school students continue to experience challenges in math following the pandemic."
One singular person is never the solution or the single problem.
While some city leaders are calling for Santelises to resign, others, like State Senate President Bill Ferguson, are standing by her.
I have a great deal of faith in Dr. Santelises. She is incredibly thoughtful.
Ferguson told Fox 45 that education is a continuum, and he doesn't hold any one person accountable because he says if a student is not performing in high school, that likely means the student didn't receive enough support in elementary or middle school. But it's worth pointing out Dr. Santelises was in charge of city schools when these high school students were in elementary school. She's now been the CEO for more than 7 years, a 10th grader today, was in 3rd grade when she took over.
Obviously, we have to have unbelievable urgency to it's not acceptable where we are, but that doesn't mean that the entire system is broken.
We need to hold the school CEO and the administration accountable.
I'm Chris Pabst.
First off, how bad it gotta get? If did y'all hear? Did y'all see that? So if you can't see it, the title of the video says again, at Baltimore's the best high schools, only 11% of students tested proficient on the state math exam. And this woman's getting essentially $500,000 a year to fail. Everybody's failing. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm sorry. That's like rough. That's super, super rough. All right, let's continue. That's wild. That's wild. That's crazy. All right. Let's do it. My goodness. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Mm.
Alarming low in student performance.
As Project Baltimore's Chris Pabst has learned, nearly half of high school students in Baltimore City this year earned a grade point average below a 1.
They take.
When Giovanni Patterson ran for Baltimore City Council president last year,
Yet, despite the amount of money they get, we don't see much change.
he ran on a platform that included accountability and education.
Our schools outspend 97% of other major school districts.
And when Project Baltimore showed him how Baltimore City students have been doing this year,
This is terrible.
here is how he reacted.
This is just further perpetuating the cycle of poverty, blight, despair.
This chart was assembled by Baltimore City Schools and obtained by Project Baltimore. It shows the average GPA for every high school grade in the city, freshman through senior. In the first 3 quarters of this past school year, according to the chart, 41% of all Baltimore City high school students earned below a 1.0 grade point average. In other words, nearly half of the roughly 20,600 public high school students in Baltimore earned less than a D average.
Bam. All right. So I gotta take a break myself. Fam. I know collectively, not individually, we turn a blind eye to a lot of stuff, and we just do what we can to get by and to get through. Okay. But as a community, as a people, we got to address these issues. This ain't it. This is not it. I mean, so what's going to happen to these people, which are our children primarily, okay? What's going to happen to our children? They either fail high school, they drop out of high school, or by some chance they graduate high school. No chance in heaven, in the Shamayim, of going to college, okay? What are they going to do? What type of career are they going to have? This particular boot camp is a employment interview and technology certification boot camp. We need to be having these throughout the year in various subjects and topics. So I'm going to put the call out right now. I'll edit this stuff out later on. We can figure it out. But we need to do what we can to help educate our children in reading comprehension, standard literacy, okay? We need to ensure that they're able to at least be proficient in the basic math, multiplication, addition, subtraction, division, all those things, right? The basics, fundamentals, they got to have something, okay? Essentially, in many of the cities that we're in, public schools are daycare. Mom and dad or mom, a single mom, are just grinding at work trying to survive. And the children are basically at public school as a daycare so that they can, and then they get pushed through the system, and at the end of the day, there's no support for them. So what they're going to do in Baltimore or Virginia, they're going to be a squeegee kid. If you don't know what a squeegee kid is, go look it up. Squeegee kid. Okay? We have to do a lot. Now, I'm doing my part because of my many years of experience in IT, which is information technology and information security. And we're going to talk more about that in a minute, but I just want to highlight the challenges that we face in regards to the labor market amongst Black youth or Hebrew youth in this country. We got to deal with this, okay? So I'm going to do my part, okay? I've taught literally over 1,000 people in my lifetime, okay? Time to make sure I give back to our communities and offer premium training at a discounted and low price. Okay. Let's keep going. This has kind of stopped me in my tracks, Dad. I mean, come on, fam. That's wild. You didn't even show up for school with a 1.0? Man.
Average.
It's heartbreaking. If almost half
1.0 grade point average. In other words, nearly half of the roughly 20,600 public high school students in Baltimore earned less than a D average.
It's heartbreaking. If almost half of our kids are failing, what options do they have after high school? This is really disheartening. It's sad to see this, man.
On the other end of this chart, 21% of city high school students earned a GPA of 3.0 or better, a B average. About half as many who earned below a D. We can also see the district lost more than 700 high school students during the first 3 quarters of this year.
In January, City School CEO Dr. Sonia Santelises first sounded the alarm, saying the course failure rate for students had nearly doubled during the COVID shutdowns. A few months later, in May, North Avenue announced students would not be held back for failing classes. This most recent GPA data could show us why North Avenue made that decision.
During the second quarter of the 2019-2020 school year, just before COVID hit, 24% of high school students had a GPA below 1. Now, it's 41%. City schools declined an interview, but told us in a statement the COVID-19 pandemic created significant disruptions to student learning. Starting this summer and beyond, City Schools is providing students with a variety of opportunities to acquire the unfinished learning they lost.
It's not gone. It's not going anywhere.
City Council President Nick Mosby, who defeated Patterson in the election, is reportedly under investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice concerning campaign finances, business, and tax records. Project Baltimore emailed and called Mosby's office, requesting an interview to discuss these numbers concerning student GPAs. We never heard back.
These people don't care, man. They come from the same environment. You know, Nick Mosby is a product of Baltimore City Schools. Brandon Scott's a product of Baltimore City Schools, and they see what's going on. But then when you bring this to them, they don't care. They don't care at all. You have to raise the standard. Everyone should be speaking out about this.
Project Baltimore reached out to the other school systems in our area requesting their GPA data. We were told by all of them that it's not readily available. I'm Chris Pabst, and this is Project Baltimore.
Bam. Fam. All right, so there's a couple things going on here, and I did want to highlight this for a reason. This particular video was from about 4 years ago, and we all know what was going on about 4 years ago. And I wanted to highlight something because I myself, I have a soon-to-be 18-year-old. Okay. During those COVID years, it was absolutely devastating to our youth. It was devastating to all of us. Even for myself, I was like, what happened? You got older, but you have missing years, like you had dementia or something. Like, what happened during that time frame? You know, it was all a blur. Understand that during the prime years of many of our young people who are 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, 20, 21 years old, they lost essentially 2 to 3 years, depending upon where they were in the country. They lost 2 to 3 years of prime young adult development. Okay. Everything went to hell, being blunt, and the standard was non-existent. We went from being forced to go to school to online school, and not everyone's even able to do that. Okay. Some people need that one-on-one interaction, in person, you know, situation. And so it's impacted a lot of our young people. And so here we are now. You got so many young people that dropped out of high school, failed, graduated, but it's not worth nothing. They're not all well up here. Okay. And we could point the finger at the schools, and there's some blame at the schools, definitely, right? Like the brother said, we need to raise the standards. I agree with that. That's true. We need to raise the standards. But the other issue is we need to raise the standards at home. Okay. We need to raise the standards in our communities, because if we don't raise the standards in our homes and our communities, it's going to perpetuate this outcome. One last video. This is challenging.
Out of a Baltimore. Tonight, an alarming discovery out of a Baltimore City high school where hundreds of students are failing.
As Project Baltimore's Chris Pabst explains, we found a student who's passed 3 classes in 4 years and is ranked near the top half of his class.
We're not letting none of this get the best of us.
All right, so this is hard. I know I went past some of y'all. We're going to play this one more time. And although it's easy to look at the mom like raggedy, she does absolutely have accountability for her own child. Okay. We got to have some empathy. Or at least we should have some empathy, because it could have been any one of us. Okay.
Tonight, an alarming discovery out of a Baltimore City high school where hundreds of students are failing.
As Project Baltimore's Chris Pabst explains, we found a student who's passed 3 classes in 4 years and is ranked near the top half of his class.
We're not letting none of this get the best of us. All right? Be strong, son. We got this.
He's stressed, and I am too. Like, I told him I probably would start crying. Like, my son is, I don't know what to do for him.
This coming June is when Tiffany France thought her son would receive his diploma.
And I'm just trying to fight. He like, Mom, what was all this for? What did I do this for? Like, don't he get a chance? do he get a chance?
But after 4 years of high school, this mom just learned her 17-year-old has to start over. He's been moved back to 9th grade.
Why would he do 3 more years in school? He didn't fail. The school failed him. The school failed at their job. They failed. They failed. That's the problem here. They failed. They failed. He didn't deserve that.
All right, so y'all know that's a lie, right? I just gotta be blunt with it. She know that was a lie when she said it. As a parent, you have to be proactive in your child's life. You can't be hands off. You can't say you failed, you didn't raise my son right. That's crazy, right? I know she probably had to grind and go to school and go to work or whatever she was doing, but come on now.
Back to 9th grade.
Why would he do 3 more years in school? He didn't fail. The school failed him. The school failed at their job. They failed. They failed. That's the problem here. They failed. They failed. He didn't deserve that.
France's son attends Augusta Fells Savage Institute of Visual Arts in West Baltimore. His transcripts show in 4 years, he has passed just 3 classes, earning 2.5 credits, which places him in 9th grade. But France says she didn't know that until February. She has 3 children and works 3 jobs. She thought her oldest son was doing well because even though he failed most of his classes, he was being promoted. His transcripts show he failed Spanish 1 and Algebra 1, but was promoted to Spanish 2 and Algebra 2. He also failed English 2, but was passed on to English 3.
I'm just assuming that if you are passing, that you have the proper things, to go to the next grade. And, the right grades, you have the right credits.
As we dig deeper into her son's records, we can see in his first Fells, he failed 22 classes and was late or absent 272 times. But in those 3 years, only 1 teacher requested a parent conference, which France says never happened. No one from the school told classes and was late or absent 272 times. But in those 3 years,
where was your son at? That's crazy. Wow.
Only 1 teacher requested a parent conference, which France says never happened. No one from the school told this mother her son was failing and not going to class.
Yeah.
France's son, in his 4 years at Augusta Fells, earned a grade point average of 0.13. He only passed 3 classes. But his transcripts show his class rank is 62 out of 120. This means nearly half of his classmates, 58 of them, have a GPA of 0.13 or lower.
He's a good kid. He didn't deserve that. Where is the mentors? Where is the help for him? I hate that this is happening to my child.
In your opinion, did the school system fail this child?
Absolutely.
This city school administrator who works inside North Avenue asked not to be identified for fear of retaliation.
That school community failed this student.
This administrator told Fox 45 News city schools failed because it has protocols and interventions set up to help students who are falling behind or have low attendance. In France's son's case, they didn't happen.
I get angry. There's nothing but frustration. We see on the news the crime that occurs, the murders, the shootings. We know that there are high levels of poverty in Baltimore. Things like this are adding to that.
These children are why I do this work.
Dr. Sonia Santelises was school.
There she go. Half a meal. Okay. Sorry.
CEO 4 years ago when France's son was a freshman. But she will not interview with Fox 45 News. Instead, we received this 2-page statement, which explains what should happen when a student is chronically absent or failing. The district says students received a letter about their academic status this past summer, and records can be accessed through the campus portal. When a student is absent, and all is placed to the number on file. The statement also said the school conducted and the student's parent visited the school and says none of that happened. What this statement does not address is why France's son was promoted despite failing classes. It doesn't discuss his class rank or the 58 other students with a GPA of 0.13 or lower. But it does say North Avenue is reviewing actions that impacted student outcomes at the school prior to this year.
It took a lot for me to just build the courage to do this.
If you were to talk to this mom, what would you say to her?
You know, I didn't have a hand on this student, but I work for city schools, so he is one of my kids. I would hug her and I would I would apologize profusely.
And he feels embarrassed, he feels like a failure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't feel like that. And you have to be strong. You gotta keep fighting. You know, life is about fighting things. And he's willing. He's trying. But who would he turn to when the people that's supposed to help him is not? Who do he turn to?
France has pulled her son out of Augusta Fells. He is now enrolled in an accelerated school program at another high school in West Baltimore. She is told if he works hard, he could graduate by 2023. And if you would like to read City School's entire 2-page statement, we have posted it on our website, foxbaltimore.com. I'm Chris Pabst, and this is Project Baltimore.
All right, that's enough. It's not almost depressing. Yeah. I don't know how y'all feel. That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. Gotta keep going. I just gotta take a break. Y'all need to take a break because that was pretty rough. All that we just went over is why I'm doing the certification boot camps. Okay. And I'll get to all that in a minute. This is more like the expanded long version, and I'll do a more compressed version later on. Wow. It's heavy. We have challenges. This is what's facing our communities, and the reason why throughout this country, our people are struggling financially and in the labor market. And then with the changing of the labor market due to automation and artificial intelligence, every last one of us has to upskill. It just is what it is. I was in California last week, and I was getting my family some food, and I was like, okay, let me go. For myself, I wanted to go to a Burger King. They want to go Chick-fil-A or something like that, or whatever it was. And I went to the drive-thru. It was an AI robot taking my order. So you can't even say, as an uneducated person that didn't graduate from high school or barely graduated high school, go down the street and get you a job at the fast food joint, because unless you're a cook or you mopping the floors, they got AI taking your orders. That's where we're at right now. I thought about finding a video of, you know, what that system looks like, but you drive up and it's straight up, hi. It's not a recording. It's a straight AI system move doing the most. Anyway, Yeah. Okay. Sorry, man. That's heavy. All right. So what I want to do next is, if I could do it, I wanted to go over some of the different labor statistics for various states or cities. I believe I have all states here for the most part. So I want to press the issue home why what we're doing here in this boot camp for employment interviewing and technology certification boot camp is important. Okay. So let's go ahead and get up in here. I'm gonna share my screen. And just to do a quick check, did it work? What's happening? All right, so I do apologize. There's a delay going on, so just forgive me, okay? We're going to go through this. We have a few states we're going to go over just so you guys can get an idea of what's going on. Again, this training's for everyone, but obviously this is a Get Certified Hebrews and Tech training. So this is a religious or spiritual ministry. So we're going to talk about the Most High. We're going to pray and get after it, okay? For those of us that take this training. We do have 30 total slots available. And I will tell you right now, they will fill up in full because you're not going to get training like this at this price. This is not happening. You can watch a video or something like that online, but you're not going to get this virtual training that's going to be effective for your, right? You're not going to get that for this price. Let's jump right in, okay? And let me know. Can you guys see the screen where it says New York income? Let me know in the chat. It's going to be a delay, but let me know in the chat. You guys can see the screen capture for it says New York income. And the faster I get feedback, I can move on. Hey, Adiyah said, Bojangles has AI taking orders out here in Georgia. That's wild, man. That's wild. That's wild. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. All right. I'm going to go off of Charles that you can hear me. You can see the screen okay. Let's keep going. Let's see if I can find that again. There it is. All right. I'm going to try to zoom in. Hopefully it's not too big for you. All right. So New York income. This is the website, nielsberg.com insights. I'm going to share that in the chat so you guys can see it for yourself as well. All right. So this is wild, but the median household income, that's not a single person. That's the whole family. Whether it's 2 people, 4 people, or whatever, the median income in New York is $81,238. Okay. Now, age 45 to 64, the highest median income range is $93,854. Now, what we want to get to is by race. You can look at the rest of it yourself. We got too much to go into, okay? All right. In New York, the population is predominantly white, constituting 60.73% of the total residents. Here are the key highlights from the analysis of income distributed by race. The median household income for white households is $89,408. In New York, despite the white population being the most populous, it is worth noting that Asian households actually reports the highest median household income with a median income of $89,947. This reveals that while whites may be the most numerous in New York, Asian households experience greater economic prosperity in terms of median household income. There's a reason for that, and I got to be careful about that, but there's a reason for that. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Next, it goes on to say, in New York, the median household income for the households where the householder is white increased 10.67%, or $8,600 between 2012 and 2022. The median household income in 2022 inflation-adjusted dollars was $80,790, up to $89,408 in 2022. All right, this is where it matters for us. Okay. In New York, the median household income for the households where the householder is Black or African American increased by 10.38% between 2012 and 2022. The median household income in 2022, inflation-adjusted dollars, was $52,455 in 2012 to a high of $57,898 in 2022. Okay, this is how it looks like when you break it all down. Essentially, in New York, Black or African American only make $57,898, whereas everyone else is sitting at almost $90,000. $60,000 rounding up to $90,000 rounding up. Okay. We got to fix that. Listen, fam, 57,898 means husband, wife, or husband, wife, and a kid or two children, right? That's it for your entire household. All right. So that's New York. I'm going to keep. Next one is Illinois. All right. For the entire state. The median household income is $78,434. Age 45 to 64, they're averaging about $93,000. Okay. When you break it down by race, okay. Oh my goodness. That's rough. In Illinois, the median the households where the householder is Black or African American increased 9.53% between 2012 to 2022. 2022 inflation-adjusted dollars, we're looking at the median household income was $41,101 in 2012. After 10 years, it only went up to $45,019. This is in Illinois. Okay. Wow. All right, fam. Georgia. This is for the state of Georgia. The median household income is $70,292. Aged 45 to 64. And the reason why they break that out is because we're talking about you should be at your senior career level at this point. This is it. This is how you ready, okay? Is $87,602. Okay. When it comes to the Hebrew community, see if it wants to work. Wow. In Georgia, the median household income for households where the householder is Black or African American over the past 10 years increased by $12,828 or 28.85% between 2012 and 2022. When you take the median household income adjusted, it goes essentially from $44,465 in 2012 to $57,293 in 2022. All right. So 57,000 for essentially Black Americans or Hebrews. All right. And as a state, looking at everybody, it's 70,292. So we have a major disparity of Hebrews living in Georgia compared to everyone else. All right. White population, they're at 82,397. We're at 57,293. I mean, hell, the Native American, the Alaskan Native, only make a little bit less than us. All right, here you have Asian again, 102,973. Okay, I'll let you know what's happening with that. Where it says Asian, the reason why that number is predominantly higher across the country is because you're looking at H-1B visa holders that have come over here on a work visa. These folks are primarily from India. They count as Asian. India definitely upskilled back in the day many years ago. That's why all the call centers and stuff were out of India or Pakistan or something like that, right? What's happened is the corporations, being blunt, the corporations across this country have laid off, fired most American employees. They then go and hire these H-1B visa, highly skilled individuals from India predominantly. They bring them over. They generally are not paid the same amount as, let's say, a regular, naturalized or born U.S. citizen would be. But because they are highly intelligent, they're able to promote faster, and they're getting these higher pay positions. Just being blunt, this Asian block is primarily coming from Indians that are getting over here through H-1B visa programs. So you got a lot of U.S. citizens that are being kind of sidelined for immigrants on the H-1B visa program. They get over here on a work visa. Again, these aren't stupid people. These are highly trained and skilled people. And then over time, they promote and they're getting these high paying positions because they're qualified for them over the standard American U.S. citizen. Okay. So hopefully that helps. I can't see your comments right now if you have any, so I apologize. Let's just keep going here. Michigan income, we're looking at, man, that's rough. $68,316. Okay. $68,316 is the median household income. If you're age 45 to 64, it goes up to $82,652. When you break it down by race, go down to the Hebrews, it's rough. It's rough. In Michigan, the median household income for the households where the household is Black or African American between 2022 and 2012, between 2012 and 2022, it increased. Oh my goodness. Anyway, it increased from $35,844 to $42,056. So for this block, for the income, all right, this is Michigan. Hebrews on average are making only $42,056. Again, meanwhile, I'll sit down below. White Americans are pulling in $71,000. Come on, fam. The Native American Indian, the Alaska Native is making more money than the Brews? You got Native Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders making more money than us? It's some other race. If you're any other race than Hebrew, you're making more money than the average Hebrew in Michigan. It don't even got no title on there. You got multiracial over here. It says some other race, something else, anybody making more money than us. That's interesting. Something going on there. Okay? Something going on there. Oh boy. All right. North Carolina. Median income again, 65,000 for 12. Highest medium income age earning group, 45-64 is 81,000. Okay. And then again, North Carolina median household income for households where the household is Black or African American was $50,059 in 2022. So when you look at it, again, white Americans on average were making $75,197. Hebrews making $50,000. And then you got, that's wilding. You got Asians and Native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islanders popping off at $100,000 a year on average by race, that group. Something's wrong. How are they making twice as much? What's happening? Okay. All right, let's keep going. I'm almost done. All right, just cut right down to it. Here it says that, wow, in Maryland, right? So we talked about Baltimore's in Maryland, but this is just the whole state of Maryland, okay? White Americans are at $107,000 a year. Hebrews are at $77,368. Okay. So we look at a whole, the average income is $98,829. But for, again, Brews, it's only $77,368. I think I pulled up Baltimore. Let's see what it looks like. I didn't think it's going to be this heavy, but it's pretty heavy. All right. All right. Baltimore, Maryland. We were talking about Baltimore. The median household income in the city of Baltimore is $58,503. Age, this is weird. Okay, well, so all right. This is pretty heavy, fam. Because I can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it. Did you guys notice there's a major drop in regards to the highest medium income age group? Is 25 to 44 versus 45 to 65. What does that tell you, fam? It tells you that the life expectancy ain't too long in Baltimore, and if it is, you ain't trying to be there, right? If the median household income is $58,000, and then the highest medium income age group is 25 to 44, like we're talking, fam, we're talking like you got to be on some extreme poverty type move. Like that's wild. I apologize for that's taking me back a little bit. So let's just focus. 58,504 is the median household income. Okay. In Baltimore, the population is predominantly Black or African American, constituting 61.61% of total residents. The median household income for Black or African American households is $45,420. Okay. It says, going further, in Baltimore, despite the, see, this is a problem. In Baltimore, despite the Black or African American population being the most populous, it is worth noting that white households actually reports the highest median household income, with a median income of $85,000. This reveals that while Black or African Americans may be the most numerous in Baltimore, white households experience greater economic prosperity in terms of median household income. That's wild. That's wild, fam. What are your thoughts about this as I'm going to go through this? What's your thoughts on this? This is, it's pretty heavy. So we're 61+% of the total population, but we broke as hell. That, fam, that's for a family. That's 2 people making that much. That's like a wife and a husband. All they make is $45,000 a year together. I'm gonna stop. One more. Y'all pray for me. I didn't know it was gonna be this heavy. I know I need to kind of go through this whole exercise with everybody so we can really see what's going on, but I didn't think it was gonna be this heavy. Okay. Oh my goodness. You can stop right here. Just look at the first paragraph. Y'all pray for me, fam. Y'all pray for me? I need some prayer. I need some prayer, family. Please. All right. I can get through this. California median household income by race. In California, the demographic landscape is diverse, spanning 7 distinct racial categories among households. Among these, Asian households, again, have the highest median household income at $125,000. Listen, fam. While Black or African American households represent the opposite end with the lowest median household income of $67,365. Okay. Man. White Californians make on average $104,000. Asians, and again, that's predominantly going to be Punjabis, the Indians. That's their actual names, Punjab. The 125,000, right? These are all your, California, Frisco tech folks. This is all your Google and all that tech money, right? The average income for white Californians is 104,000. Asians, 125,000. You got American Indian and Alaskan Native making more money than our people. You got Native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islanders making more money than Hebrews. You got random, we don't know who you are, where you come from. You could be a space alien, is making 74,000. You're, mixed biracial or something, you other than Black, they making 87,968. For Black or African American, aka Hebrews, they're averaging on the lowest at 67,365. Okay. All right, I need a break. That's rough. Man. Y'all. We just take a moment. A moment of silence. I know it's not funny, but if you're not laughing, you're gonna cry. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to cry right now. Okay. All right. So forgot Arizona. I apologize. But that covers a pretty broad landscape of where brews are located at. Okay. And what our economic labor situations looking like. All right, fam. So we need some help. All right. And so for me, I'm doing my part. I know that, again, like I said, every last one of us needs to upskill and transition. So I'm going to speak on some things and then go over options for us. I will also go over some free options or low-cost options as well. But let's just kind of get into this. I'm just taking a moment to catch my breath on this. All right. Man. All right. That's heavy. That's heavy. And I recognize that a lot of times we don't want to face the truth or the reality of our situation. So it's easier to kind of turn a blind eye or put your head in the sand in regards to the issues that we face. Okay. We got to address these issues. Okay. What I'm going to talk about right now going forward is the technology track that I recommend for our people going forward. Okay. Online, you're going to hear about layoffs, tech, quote unquote, tech layoffs. You're going to hear about automation and it. My perspective, as someone that's deeply in this, is that a lot of the news stories are designed to scare you away. And that's because less competition. Okay. I'm going to tell you where automation and artificial intelligence is affecting our people and affecting everybody that's in this tech game. Okay. If you are a coder, a programming coder, you're cooked. Not completely, but if you're trying to be an employee somewhere, it's a wrap. Now, if you're trying to be a business owner and if you're trying to create a product, you can come out on top like Kingpin style. Okay. But if you're not trying to be a business owner and you're a computer science major and or computer coder programmer person, thinking you're going to get a regular job as an employee somewhere, it's a wrap. Because the generative AI that's out there right now has gone through the code base so many times. They've gone through the GitHub so many times. They've been programmed on the best programming practices that if you're a beginner to an intermediate programmer, you could do the job of 10 programmers. Because based off what you're dealing with, you can literally take the code you got and run it through the generative AI and it'll fix the problems you have in your code. It will give you other options. It'll refactor your code base if you wanted to, right? So when you hear tech and they're talking about layoffs and they're talking about all this type of stuff, there's two roles that are being primarily affected. The masses or majority of the roles being hacked off on is support roles. Okay. I'm not trying to be rude or belittling, but you making coffee in the office, right? You are like a marketing sales type person. It's like some random job they created for you that's like a support role. You getting cut. Because during the COVID years, a lot of employees overhired in order to prop up fake financial market prices, stock prices, right? Oh, we're doing so well, we're growing, and everything's wonderful and fantastic, and we're hiring all these people, and so you just kind of had like a BS job, basically. Like, it's not saying that it wasn't cool, but it doesn't affect the bottom line. Okay, that's what it comes down to. It's not affecting the bottom line. And so those support roles, like I said, you're making coffee, you're over there eating donuts at Starbucks or something like that with your laptop, your job is gone. Okay. The other role is, again, if you are some type of computer programmer or coder, you're getting cut only because there's less of a need to have so many coders in office. So I won't name no names, but I've talked to many brews that are in this space, and really the majority of the brews you see online have a tech background. Okay. All of them. It's shocking. We're like, hey, you got a tech background too? Okay. Both sides doing something, right? They'll tell you. They will pay you as a really good coder. They'll pay you $300,000, $400,000 because you'll be doing the job of 10 people, if not more. So they're going to be willing to pay you more money than have 10 different programmer coder people each making 100,000, 150, 140, right? They're like, nah, we're going to fire everybody and only keep 2. And you 2 are going to do the work of all these people, okay? So keeping it simple, that's what we're talking about, okay? If you are a computer programmer coder, you likely will have a hard time, okay? If you are a staff support role move, you're not going to make it. All right. Who's going to make it? Where is there opportunity in this? And I'm telling you for real, talking to my people, I'm telling you for real, where the path is at. The path is going to be in either information security or information architecture. What do I mean by that? Information security is equivalent to cybersecurity. AI is cool, but ain't nobody trusting AI to be your, cybersecurity expert. Okay, there might be AI tools embedded or incorporated into certain systems, but they're not doing that. So there's a serious need for competent, analytically thinking information security professionals. So I'm telling you right now, even though you might hear people throw around tech and tech layoffs and all this kind of stuff, there's no layoffs in cybersecurity. There's an insane need for cybersecurity professionals, to the point where some of the certifications I'm telling you right now, if you get those certifications, you're making 6 figures as a quote unquote Black American or African American, they will call us whatever, right? You making 6 figures. Now, I'm not talking about no $100,000. I'm saying like 150, 145, 160, right? Without a degree. I'm saying that again, without a degree. Okay. So before I go into this Tech Plus certification path, that's going to be the beginning path that we go on. Okay. I'm going to kind of guide you through the path that we're going to go through. And my plan is to go through all of these paths with you that choose to go along with me. Okay. And like I said, this is open to everyone. This is not like you got to be Hebrew to do these things. Okay. That being said, you already know this is a ministry specific to Hebrews in America and the diaspora. Okay. So this is for us, but anybody can go ahead and jump on this. And I'm just going to guarantee you, if we don't jump on this collectively, the other nations going to jump on this. To be blunt, it's going to happen. Okay. So take advantage of this opportunity. Don't slack on this opportunity. Okay. Here's the paths that we're going to go through. Okay. The first track is a foundational track. And so these are the first two certs we're going to go into, okay? These are your fundamental foundational certs that are going to prepare you for what you need, okay? So again, this bootcamp training that are looking at making a career change. Maybe you're fresh out of high school or you've been out of the job trying to upskill. You need to do this, okay? Now, I'm going to go through the path and then I'm going to give you the options you can to try to achieve this. But whether you do this boot camp with me or not, write this down because this is 100% the right track you want to jump on, okay? So, foundational certifications you want to get are going to be the CompTIA Tech Plus certification and the CompTIA Linux Plus certification, all right? The exam fee for Tech Plus is not too crazy. You're looking at between $125 and $140, depending upon where you're at in the world. Okay. And then the Linux Plus, I got to just verify what it is on that one. But you're not looking at anything too crazy. For time's sake, I'll tell you right now, if you pass these two certification exams, okay, you're looking at being able to get a career or a job position where you're making between 50,000 and 65. No, I can't even say that. I would say between 50,000 on the extreme low, like you robbing yourself, okay? Between 50,000 and $70,000 as an individual person. I'm not talking about your median household income. I'm saying for you by yourself with no help, no 50-50, just by yourself. These two certifications will be able to get you a job role in IT or IT administration where you're making at least like legit, like 50. I almost resist saying 50,000 because that's so low. But you are looking at between 50,000 to 70,000. And the reason why I say that is because you wouldn't have any real experience yet, but you'd have the knowledge and you would have the certifications that tell your employers. CompTIA, which is an extremely well-respected organization, right, that does non-vendor specific training across the entire tech world. This is a internationally known organization, top tier, okay? You're looking at between 50,000 to 70,000 being, again, no experience or little experience, okay? On the higher end, you're looking at being a systems administrator type person. You can do a support role type move if you want to, but I'm not recommending that. This, again, is your foundational knowledge and to get your foot in the door to start making some money. You're looking at these two are going to be it, okay? The next path after you get these two certifications, these are two very strong certifications to have on your resume. You're going to get hired, okay? The next one is going to be the architecture path, or like I said, like your networking administrator, system architecture path, okay? Big money. So with little or limited experience and a good interview game, you're looking at, if you're extreme, like if you're just desperate and thirsty, 60, don't do it, 60,000 to $90,000 with these two certifications with no experience or limited experience. 60,000 to $90,000, absolutely. Okay. And that's, again, the CompTIA Network Plus and the Cloud Plus certification. So Network Plus is foundational to understand how the internet works, all types of internet. So whether you're talking about how your cell phone works, how your home router works, how major networks work when it comes to multinational corporations or companies that are distributed across various locations in a city or a country, right? Network Plus is going to be there for you, okay? Cloud Plus is in regards to cloud technology, cloud servers, cloud systems, and these two right here is how the internet truly works, for real, right? There is an extreme need for this, okay? Network Plus certified individuals, Cloud Plus certified individuals, even with limited experience, and you got a good interview game, you're looking at between 60,000 and 90,000. You have the knowledge up here, and then again, you're blessed off by CompTIA that says, yeah, we vouch for you. This is an individual that's certified, right? We certify that they know what they're doing. You put them on a network, they're not going to burn it down, right? They're not going to break something, okay? And so with minimal supervision, you'll be straight, okay? Now, the next path I would say you want to go through is a security path or cybersecurity path. Now, it is possible to go from here directly here. I wouldn't recommend it though. I feel like you need to at least have the Network Plus down and maybe Security Plus, which I didn't put up on here, right? You want to get at least Network Plus, because if I'm telling you right now, if you don't know how the internet works, you're gonna get owned. Yeah, you're gonna get owned. Okay. And I'll put this up on here. This is very true, right? And CCNA is actually pretty good. A few years back, they changed the exam, and it was like so gangster, because essentially what happened was CCNA, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just kind of like walk with me, all right? So CCNA is another very important cert you can get, but it was kind of looked down on in the industry because I just think that the organization behind it did not promote it as well as they could have compared to the CompTIA certs. But the CCNA is like legit for real too. But yeah, the CCNA, they had changed the exam a while back because they were tired of getting kind of looked down upon, and they made that exam so gangster. Like it was it was probably like one of the hardest certs you could get. They ratcheted it up so insanely hard that then people couldn't even pass it. It was so hard, and then they had to kind of dumb it back down again. So, but yeah, that CCNA is pretty gangster. It's a good cert to have. But let's keep going here. All right. So the next one I'm talking about here is the cybersecurity track. Okay. I have both of these certs, by the way. So this is where I'm at. Okay. Here you're looking at, I would say, $90,000 to $140,000 with limited experience. The thing that's going to kind of mess you up is that you will have had the knowledge but not the experience, and so that will kind of be a handicap for you, is that even though you have the certification that the employer would want, you'll likely fall up against an issue with the experience requirement. Whether it be like, all right, bet you got the certification, but you got no experience or 1 year's experience, or maybe you could finagle and say you got 2 years experience, when they're looking for 5, 10, or 15. That being said, because there's such a need for these professionals in cybersecurity, SOC analysts, right, and SOC analysts, we'll look into all that in the future. This is golden right here. Like you see it black, right? The Security X, yeah, you're gonna be all right. Okay, that's the one. That's the one right there. Both of these are good. So CISA Plus is the Cybersecurity Analyst Plus certification, and the Security X is like their top of the line expert series cert that says, okay, you gangster, you on that level, like you up there for real. Like you're not just talking and you got a good interview game. You know what's going on. Okay, so that's that. Those are the tracks or paths I would recommend us as people to go down if you want to break into technology, right? You got to start with your fundamentals being Tech Plus, Linux Plus. These two are so solid. Like with these two right here, you really you'll be all right financially. You're not going to be looking like we was looking at them median household incomes being all bad like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you want to be. Okay. That's definitely where you want to be at. All right. 1 second, see what's going on here. I think we're good. Okay. So let's go back here. And that's good. All right. So again, if you would like to register for this training, go ahead and hit the QR code up here. I'm going to continue very briefly going over some options you have to break into this. Okay. Now, again, the training that I'm doing is virtual instructor-led training. I'm accepting up to 30 students. Depending upon the like how fast we sell out on this, I may open it up more, but at this point, I feel like 30 is a good number to where folks shouldn't get too lost, okay, with so many different people up on there. It is interactive, and the breakdown on how we're doing it is we're going to give a little bit more time than we have in the past. It's going to begin September 7th. And that's a Sunday. And that will be 4.5 hours. About 30 minutes I'll give you guys for lunch. So that half hours basically take a break in for lunch. We're going to take about 5-10 minute breaks each hour if you need to. All right. But we're definitely taking a hard break for that 30-minute lunch and bathroom and deal with the family or whatever the case might be. All right. So this is not you watch some videos online. That's it. Kind of high level, bullet point. This is going to be essentially every Sunday for 4.5 hours, and then every Thursday evening for about 2 hours. Okay. And I'm spreading this out over 10 weeks because, again, I know we got jobs, we have employment, we got responsibilities, we got children, we got husbands, we got wives, we have elderly parents we got to take care of and push around, right? And medical appointments, life be lifing. So that's the reason why we're doing a 10-week course to give you time, enough time that even if you have to miss a session, you're going to definitely get more than enough time to digest the information. Because I'll get to it later on, but let's do this. Let's see here. I want to go over the course itself first that we're going to be covering, and then I'm going to go over the training options you have. Okay. Does that sound good? All right, so let me see if I can get this right. Yep, we'll go here. See if it works. Let's take a little bit of a delay. So I do apologize for the delay. All right. Can you guys see the screen? It should show you the CompTIA website and show you the Tech Plus certification. This is the 6th version of this exam. And we're just going to kind of go over what you're going to learn in this foundational course. Okay. And I have my own material. I have my own slides that are aligned with this course of material, but we're going to give you the actual CompTIA official study guide. Okay. That's what we're going to do. All right. So let's go ahead and read this. Tech Plus. So Tech Plus is the essential certification for anyone exploring a career in technology. It provides you with the foundational knowledge and hands-on skills needed to navigate today's digital world, giving you the confidence to take the first step towards a tech-related career. So CompTIA Tech Plus focuses on practical, real-world skills that help you understand core tech concepts, troubleshooting basic issues, and build a strong foundation for future learning and growth in the tech industry. These are the actual breakdown that we're going to be going over as far as like the objectives. Okay. So let me see if I want to break this down. Let's see 1 second here. Yeah, break this down. All right. So this is not going to be an extremely difficult certification to get, I don't believe. The series code for the certification is FC0U71. This is a more advanced and aggressive version of the previously called ITF Plus certification. They launched this July 16, 2024. You're going to have multiple choice questions, approximately 70 to 75 questions. The duration of the exam is officially 90 minutes, but 60 minutes is what they're giving you to do the assessment. 30 minutes is for like your NDA, non-disclosure stuff you got to fill out. Okay. Passing score is 650 on a scale of 900. All right. And the primary language is going to be in English. All right. So let's go back to the top in regards to the objectives you're going to be going over. All right. So tech concepts and terminology is going to make up about 13% of your examination. So it's going to cover things like computing basics, being input, output, processing, and storage fundamentals. The next is going to be notional systems, being binary, hexadecimal, decimal, and octal systems. The next will be units of measure, being storage, bits, bytes, kilobytes, gigabytes, terabytes. I'll even throw in there nibbles. Y'all don't know about the nibbles, right? Speed being related to megahertz, gigahertz. And then throughput being BPS, MBPS, and GBPS. All right. Then it rounds out with troubleshooting methodology. You have to know this, right? Identifying problems, testing theories, implementing solutions, documenting your findings. If you remember those things, you'll do well. Okay. The next part is going to be infrastructure. This is important. It's about 24% of your exam. So it's going to go over computing devices, internal components, storage types, volatile versus non-volatile storage, local, network, and cloud storage, peripheral setup being printers, scanners, monitors, multi-purpose fax machines, that kind of stuff, right? Device interfaces, the actual interfaces, USB, HDMI, Bluetooth, Ethernet, NFC, right? Near field communication. A very good one that's going to touch on that cloud move, the architecture move, right there. That's gold. Virtualization in cloud. Hypervisors, we'll teach you what that is. Software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, hybrid and on-premises cloud models. We're going to go into network basics, and then your wireless networking, your 802.11 standards. Next is going to be applications and software, 18% of your exam. That's pretty strong. Operating systems, operating system components, software types, web browser features, and the new one we're getting into is artificial intelligence. So we'll be talking about chatbots, assistants, and generative AI for content and predictions. And it's going to be fun, okay? Next is software development concepts. This is 13% of your exam. And so this is going to go over programming languages, interpreted, compiled scripting, markup, and assembly. It's going to go over the different data types that are involved in software development. Characters, strings, numbers, and Boolean logic. All right. Programming concepts, variables, constants, arrays, functions, right? It's all going to be in there. Objects is super deep. We'll get into all that. And then organizational techniques, again, for software development, pseudocode, flowcharts, object-oriented methods, branching and looping. It's all going to be covered. Data and database fundamentals. It's going to cover the value of data, database concepts, database use, backup concepts. It's all going to be there, okay? And then lastly, which is extremely important, is security. I really feel like it should be more important than even infrastructure, but it's all important, right? 19%, okay? It's essentially the second highest graded topic, okay? Security concepts. This is called the CIA triad, talking about confidentiality, integrity, availability. Throughout your entire career, you need to know that, like the scriptures, okay? And what they mean. Authentication, authorization, okay? Device security in regards to anti-malware, firewalls, patching, physical security, safe browsing skills, okay? Next, we have password practices, password length, complexity, privacy, reuse, and password managers. And then the last part is going to be in regards to encryption. There's data at rest encryption. There's data in transit encryption. We'll talk about HTTP. We'll talk about HTTPS. We'll talk about virtual private networks and mobile devices. And it didn't list it on there, but it's in here, is the Internet of Things. It has it up on here for computing devices, IoT devices, right? Internet of Things, gaming consoles is even in here as well. So it's pretty cool. All right. So we will be going over this, okay? And so it's very important to get this foundation right now. When you got majority of our people making minimum wage, and I'm trying to hold back. We have an opportunity to increase our economics considerably till the most high return, okay? So you definitely want to invest in this program for yourself, for your children. If you have nieces or nephews or cousins that could benefit from this, and this is, again, like I said, this is like real world virtual instructor-led teaching. This is not go watch a video that's 15 minutes long and then go take an exam that costs you $125. That's not it. We're going to walk you through this, and I'll be here to answer your questions. But skills learned that you'll learn: understand notional systems, computing basics, the value of data, troubleshooting methodology, learn to set up and install common peripherals, peripherals being like peripheral devices, printers, scanners, speakers, like computer audio speakers, 3D printers. All those things are considered peripheral devices. Keyboards, mouse pads, all that kind of stuff. configure wireless networks, and understand virtualization and cloud technology. Like, this is going to be pretty solid that you would at least be able to go ahead and interview for certain positions. You would have enough competent knowledge to you that they would strongly consider you for a position. And again, the need is there because, you know, it's not like, oh, when I grow up, I want to go be a barista at, you know, Meta or Facebook or at Google or Microsoft or something like that. Like, those jobs are gone. Like, you can't, the fluff jobs are gone of the pre-COVID era. It's a wrap. Those jobs are gone. You have to either be in cybersecurity or infrastructure. And in fact, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Give me a second. I'm going to see if I can find it. That highlights what I'm talking about. All right, that's one. They're always doing something, man. All right. Give me a second. I appreciate your patience. So, you know, now everybody's trying to put every information behind a paywall. So I'm trying to find one that's not going to be. I got to sign for some subscription to get the information. We'll see if I can find one. All right, that's one. Maybe. We'll see what happens. And Trump. Just to highlight what I'm talking about here for you guys. Come on, fam. All right. Here we go. Y'all still with me? All right. So the headline, all that bacon on some banana, that's gross. All right. The headline is OpenAI Sam Altman willing to pour trillions of dollars into AI infrastructure. All right. So you are talking about, do you see it? Trillions with a T. With a T. Into AI infrastructure. All right. So the bottom line, you can read the rest of the article for yourself. I'll put it in the chat. Essentially, what it talks about is that you're going to have that cloud computing, networking background to do with any type of architecture type stuff. Okay. This is what it comes down to. All right. Now, here's the other one. And this is what it is. Let me see if I can. All right. Let's see if you guys can see it. Where'd it go? Oh, okay. There it is. All right. So Trump announces a $500 billion AI infrastructure investment in the United States. All right. This came out, I guess, January 21, 2025. Right. And he got all these folks up on here. Right. Talking about this. 3 top tech firms on Tuesday announced that they will create a new company called Stargate. That's crazy sounding. To grow artificial intelligence infrastructure in the United States. OpenAI Sam Altman, SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son, and Oracle Chairman Larry Ellison appeared at the White House Tuesday afternoon, alongside President Donald Trump to announce the company, which Trump called the largest AI infrastructure project in history. The companies will invest $100 billion in the project to start, with plans to pour up to $500 billion into that company in the coming years. The project is expected to create 100,000 U.S. jobs, Trump said. 100,000 U.S. jobs. There's going to be a lot of competition for those jobs. There's going to be a lot of skills gaps to get those jobs. And that's where, let me come back. These two certifications are going to benefit you to get those jobs. And again, because this is not like, are you some AI guru person? That's not it. It's, do you know how networking works? Do you know how cloud infrastructure works? If this is not there, if this ain't there, ain't no AI, nothing. Ain't nothing popping off. You got to have the network in place. You have to have the cloud infrastructure in place. You have to have the servers in place. Like everything is running off of those two things. Standard networking, servers, client machines, endpoint devices, and then cloud servers, cloud systems. Everything is, this is it. So I would say like, man, like, I think both of these tracks, like, so the infrastructure foundation track and the cybersecurity track, you're looking at some big time money with these two. This one, got a 3 times to 4 times. Okay, especially if you saying, how may I help you? Right? This is going to fix all that. Okay? It's going to fix that. All right? So that's pretty much it. Let me go back and I think I'm done there. Good, good, good. And I'm done there. Okay. So let's talk about options available for you to transition into technology. Okay. There are some free options available. So if you're broke, if you're unemployed, and you just, what am I going to do? There's a path for you. If you're unemployed, been out of work for a while, and you meet certain requirements, you can go to your local unemployment office in your city for your state. It's a government situation, and they may be able, if you qualify and if there's enough room, you might be able to pick up a seat where there's a training like this that will be available for you, and it should cost you nothing. And the programs are like your workforce centers in your city. The problem that you face is it's usually limited in the seats, like 15 or less, right? So right now I'm dealing with a niche community. This is a Hebrew community. We're a niche community, even amongst Black people, Black Americans, African Americans. We're a niche community. Now this training is open for everyone, but again, this is a ministry, and this is the primary route that we're getting after supporting for our people. But anybody can join this training. Okay. If you're unemployed, you're looking for options, contact your local job center, workforce center in your city, and see if you can qualify for training that will pay for this for you. And the challenge that you're going to probably face, well, if you're unemployed, you ain't working no way, so you got time. Hopefully. I know we still got responsibilities with children and picking up from childcare and everything else. But the challenge you face is that they're usually going to be for 5 days of training. It's going to be super dense, high level, and kind of like drinking out of a fire hose in regards to information. So even though it's free, that's the downside you face, is that you'll get a book, you might get some lab access for 6 months or 4 months or something like that. But you hear my hesitation in my voice. It's real. You're looking at 8 hours a day, 5 days for that 1 week, drinking out of a fire hose. Good luck. But it's available, right? So if you could do it, do it. Okay. I will show you some websites if I can pull it up here. Give me 1 second here. I appreciate your patience. All right, cool. So well, that's weird. Yeah, hold on a second. Come on, buddy. All right. So this is the workforce website, basically unemployment website for the state of Washington. And I'm going to drop the link. If you're in Washington State, right, this is going to be for you. Okay. Next, if you are in South Carolina, right, this is the website for you to go to in South Carolina. I'm just trying to pick the areas where I know a bunch of brews are at. If you are in North Carolina, this is the website you can go to try to see what the unemployment options are available for you there. And if you're in Mississippi, this is the unemployment website for workforce centers that might be able to help you out in your training there as well. And the last one is if you're in Georgia, the state of Georgia, this is the website you can go to here. All right. Let me see if I can find that one for you. Give me a second. Now, I can't pull it up, and I won't for time's sake, but there's like, I think Trump released like $30 million for employment development or something like that. So there's likely going to be some stuff popping off with that here soon, as far as like training opportunities from the government to kind of upskill. That's great if you want to have all 500 billion or whatever it is, but you got to have people trained to develop those servers and systems and so on and so forth. So there we go. All right. I saw that in the chat briefly as I kind of look down there. Here is the workforce development, unemployment training site for San Antonio. Okay. So if you're unemployed, underemployed, maybe, definitely if you're on like stuff of like Section 8 or food stamps or welfare program, you have to probably be on some like job aid type thing. There may be options for job training that will help you out. Okay. So that's something to look into. All right. That being said, the next thing I want to go over very briefly before I close out, all right, and I'll close out in prayer as well for us all, is, let me see real quick, just so you know the value of what you're getting here, okay? Oh, last thing, for free options or no cost options, where we go. Yeah. There are, excuse me here. There are free YouTube videos you can watch online. Okay. So if you look up online on YouTube, you might be able to find some videos on the Tech Plus certification or any of these certifications. That being said, the problem you're going to face is that they're just not very good. They're good for supplemental information, but they're not very good. Generally, what the person is likely hoping for is that they'll get some YouTube advertising money, you know, a couple $100 at the end of the month for people watching their videos. But when you're looking at 6-hour-long videos, 8-hour-long videos in total to cover all this material, you're not going to even be able to understand or process all that information like that. Like even for me, I could probably go ahead and create like a video version of my training and be like, here it is for $50 or something like that. But, or even for free. But where I'm at right now, and the reason why it costs $250 is because I'm about you actually getting certified, not just taking the training. If you just want to take the training and learn something, you can do that on your own. You don't need me for that, right? You can go watch a video, go buy a book at the Barnes & Noble or something like that, and you straight. This is for those of you that actually want to get certified, okay? And you want to have that one-on-one interaction with me where I'm able to answer your questions adequately for what you're looking at doing, right? If you don't understand a concept or situation, I could be there to help you through that process. This is not like go watch a free YouTube video and you're gonna get it, because it's not happening. In fact, like I had purchased some instructor videos from CompTIA, actually not the videos, but the slides, the PowerPoint instructor slides. And I was like, what is this? It wasn't very good. Even as like a super high level, you're not going to pass off that. So not to discourage it, but I'm going to show you, there's a reason why the traditional training for like instructor-led training or virtual instructor-led training is so expensive. So I will show you very briefly if I can find it real quick. Here, let's do this one. All right. Let me know if you guys can see the screen. I transition over. I'm going to go very briefly over the general cost you're looking at for the level of training you're going to be getting with me. This is what it generally will cost if you were to go out there and get this training yourself. Okay. So here is a major company that does a lot of online certification training. It's ONLC. And I'll drop the link in the chat for you so you can view it if you want to. This is the cost of their certification training. 5 days, 8 hours a day. $2,795. That's $2,795. Okay. Let's go down here to where we're trying to go to first, which is the Tech Plus certification. Tech Plus certification with exam voucher, instructor-led course, 5 days, 8 hours a day. They want $2,495. Because again, you're getting the expertise of the instructor or instructors, and it's a whole different level of training that you're getting for that amount of money. So, you know, when you're talking about certifications that can pay you thousands of dollars, like we're talking like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, you're not getting that for free or for cheap. You know what I'm saying? So through this organization, you're looking at between $1,200, $1,300 to $2,700 for training. Okay. Another organization, you got UMBC training centers. They have a live instructor-led training for 3.5 hours Monday and Wednesday. I guess it's for about a month. I'm not sure how long it's going to be. $2,295 for live online training. Okay. $2,295. Another organization that's pretty popular is New Horizons. And their CompTIA Tech Plus training is also $2,495. Okay. Their Network Plus course is $2,495. Their Security Plus is also $2,495. Right. So you get the point on there. All right. So close that out. All right. So for us here, this training is 10 weeks long. Okay. And it's every Sunday and every Thursday. 4.5 hours on Sunday, 2 hours on Thursday. Okay. You will receive an actual official CompTIA Tech Plus study guide, like the actual digital copy of the book for you to go ahead and use and mark up and do whatever you want to do with it. Okay. And we're going to go over each section and objective in appropriate detail. Okay. What we're also going to do is we're also going to incorporate a resume review. So your existing resume, we're going to review that. I'll review it with you. Okay. It'll be private. It won't be like public, everybody looking at your stuff, right? It'll be a private review of your resume. I have reviewed tons of resumes in my years in ministry, and I've helped actually dozens of people get jobs that they normally otherwise wouldn't get because their resume was trash, absolute trash. I'm talking like, yeah, I'm throwing this away myself, and I like you, and I'm throwing it away. Okay. We will help you fix your resume. We'll also help you when it comes to having a proper LinkedIn profile. We will give you a lot of tips and methodologies to securing employment. Because part of the problem that a lot of people looking for jobs are having is there are AI systems that are reviewing your material. There's automated systems that are scanning in your resume and your application. And if it's wrong or you don't understand something, or if you make a mistake, that joint is getting thrown out. It's getting thrown out. Okay. So during this employment and Tech Plus Bootcamp, we're going to help you when it comes to making sure your resume is on point and also interviewing, right? I'll do some mock interviews with my students. right? So we'll schedule a time and we'll do a mock interview and go through the entire process so you kind of understand where you did right, what could you improve on, so on and so forth. And all that's in addition to you getting certified or getting trained up in this. Now, this is how I do it. Because again, how can I say this? Those of you that know me, you know, okay? But you're not just dealing with any Joe Blow person. Like I founded the Hebrew Connect platforms. I handle the back end, all the things. I handle all that myself. Okay. You're going to get the proper training you need. Okay. I'm going to put you on, essentially what it comes down to. So this is not like, if you know, you know. Okay. I'm gonna help you out. Okay. This will be probably career changing for many of you. Okay. And like I said, I even extended the training a little bit to ensure you get the proper training and things you need to be successful. Right. Because a lot of cases, what's happening is your resume is trash, your LinkedIn profile is non-existent or is garbage, it's not professional, and you're not doing the things that can get you the proper employment you need. Therefore, you pushing a broom or a mop or saying, how may I help you? Okay. Nothing wrong with those jobs. We need those jobs. But what's happening right now with automation and artificial intelligence, those are the jobs that are on the chopping block now. The first wave was those fluff tech jobs where you were the support staff, right? You're gone. Okay. If you're in cybersecurity or infrastructure, you're getting paid. Probably now more than you were before. It's going to increase because the need is there. So just watch over the next 6 months. It's about to pop off in regards to those that have the skills I'm gonna train you on. Yeah, they're gonna blow up. Okay. So anyway, before I forget, how I do things, here's this. I care about you getting the certificate. Okay. Getting the certification. I don't care about you just taking the course or the training and then you don't do nothing with it. I need you to take the course. So the $250 cost. Okay. If you complete the training and you miss less than, I believe it's 3 sessions, you can miss some sessions. And in addition to missing those sessions, I do take into account feast days coming up, right? So if you have a feast day that's coming up on a certain time and you're not able to make a training session, that's not going to count against you, okay? I know the calendars now, so don't play games with me. I know what's up, right? But the bottom line is I'll take that into account. If you complete the training, okay, and you miss less than 3 sessions, I will give you a free exam voucher. I will give you a voucher. Okay. So you're already going to get the official study guide to study. You're already going to have that time with me. And then if you actually follow through and actually complete the training and put in the effort, if you reach to the very end, I will pay for your exam fee, which is ranges between, I think, 125 and 138, something like that. Okay. Because again, I'm not here for money. I'm here to see you succeed. And I've done this in the past. You guys have seen it in the past. I've done it for $100. I've done it for $50. I did it for, $200. Because I recognize something, that being blunt, our people, really all people, but especially our people, don't value things when it's free. We don't. And I'll be blunt with it. Y'all know me for years, at least for 9 years now. I've been doing ministry with y'all. You know me. I'm gonna be 100 with you, right? yeah, it's one of those things where if you make it to the end, you faithful, and complete this course, I will give you the exam voucher to go ahead and test for. All right. So that's already like $125, $140 savings right there. Okay. And I think that's worth it. All right. Like I said, this training traditionally is you're looking at, where you go. You're looking at $2,500 for training like I'm gonna be doing with you. And even that training that they offer is gonna be high speed, 8 hours a day, 5 days straight. And then good luck. Here, we're gonna pace it out over 10 weeks, and we're gonna cover things in regards to employment. We're gonna cover things in regards to your LinkedIn profile. And then on top of that, because I am the CEO of Hebrew Connect Media, I will friend you or follow you on LinkedIn. So you'll actually have a professional connection with your LinkedIn profile. You'll also receive a certificate of completion for completing this training. And you can add that to your LinkedIn profile, right? And so this is the path that we're going to go on. All right. So the very first certification that we're going to take people through is going to be the Tech Plus. Once you graduate from that Tech Plus, we're going to then transition to Linux Plus, which is going to be a lot more in depth and focused, but foundational. Like now you're about to get paid, right? So off the Tech Plus, you're looking at 40,000 to 50,000, no experience. Okay. When you go from the Tech Plus to the Linux Plus, oh man, you about to get up in there. So it's no joke. Like you about to get up in there. You about to get up in there. You're looking at 60 grand, 70 grand. It's going to be up in there with limited to no experience because we're just not training our people for this. This is like being blunt. And again, it is what it is. Okay. The reason why Asians / Indians from India, Punjabis are making the most amount of money in America is because they are highly trained and skilled in technology. And so it's cheaper for these corporations to go ahead and hire them on a work visa because on top of that, if you act stupid, we can go ahead and send you back home, right? I'm being blunt. I'm being blunt, right? That's what it is. Okay. If you're not, you know what I'm saying? If you're not really acting right, you getting sent back home to India, right? They making $100,000+ a year consistently. When I went back to California and I'm at the airport, I'm seeing a gang of foreigners. I was born and raised in California. And I kind of grew up in Sacramento. There's a ton of, it's kind of a multicultural area, period. I grew up around everybody, right? I had friends that were like United Nations. When I grew up, I had Mexican friends. I had, Hebrew friends. I had white friends, but primarily it was going to be some, if they're going to be like Ukrainian or something like that, right? But what's happening is California's been overrun by immigrants that are taking a lot of the employment opportunities there. I mean, anyway, that's a whole different topic of conversation. We won't go into it. We talk about that another time. But the bottom line is that we went through a lot. I know it's a lot. It's a lot for me to go through. And I know we've been on here for a minute, right? Been on here for about 2.5 hours so far. Ultimately, what it comes down to is that a lot of our people are underemployed. They're making minimum wage. They pushing the broom or a mop or lifting the box, and they're saying, "How may I help you? Thank you for your service," type move, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But we're going to have to tackle this on many levels when it comes to literacy, reading comprehension, when it comes to mathematics, when it comes to general technology. This is where my area of specialty's at. And so I'm here to help you out. Okay. And again, this program is open to all people. So you don't have to be a Hebrew Israelite to be a part of this program. Okay. We're going to take care of you the same. But again, for those of you that are a part of a ministry, you're part of an assembly, we got you. Okay. Sign up. Like I said, you're likely not going to get an opportunity like this in the future, just being 100. Okay. Because again, my motivation is I want to see you succeed. Please share this video with everyone, because again, this is something that is needed in our community. I will make a stripped down version of this that's more concise that can be shared in the future. Again, I believe the cutoff, let me check my calendar real quick. The cutoff is going to be August 31st. And the reason why I'm doing August 31st is because for those of you that do sign up, I want to be able to schedule time to talk with you. We'll do at least just 30 minutes to kind of introduction and to find out what your goals are during that first week of September. So I need to kind of have an overall count. We will likely be full with all 30 by the 31st. But again, that first week of September, I want to have 30-minute meetings with each of you to go over what your needs are, to make sure that we accomplish those goals and get you on point. So the last, I'll say 10 minutes of this, I want to take any questions. Let me see if I can go ahead and put the chat up. All right. Please go ahead, before we close up out of here, please go ahead and ask any of your questions. I will leave it available, for a good 5-10 minutes. If I don't see any questions, we'll just go ahead and end this. But please ask questions, because number one, it'll help you out, and it also might help someone that might view this in the future. Okay. So from the bottom going back up, let's just see here. Ty J says, do you take Afterpay? I've never heard of Afterpay. I've heard of a lot of different payment platforms, but never heard of Afterpay. He or she follows up with, after the certification, would I be able to build my own chatbot and sell them to businesses? Yes and no. That's something where we need to know what you're looking at doing, because the issue is there's already kind of chatbots out there already. So what we got to clarify is, what do you want to train your chatbot to do? So yes, you have the ability of learning how to create a chatbot and selling it to a business. But when it comes to a business, you got to understand that's a whole different path. We're talking about EIN numbers. We're talking about getting your office or virtual office mailbox set up. We're talking about a variety of things. And again, what you're looking at doing in regards to, like, what are you trying to solve, right? But that's something that you and I can discuss. And even because we're going to have that AI track, and I have some special trainers that will come in that specialize specifically in machine learning and artificial intelligence, that will be able to kind of assist in that realm. These are people that are actually actively working in that environment, highly trained in that environment, in addition to myself. So we can kind of point you in the right direction on how to make that happen, right? So absolutely, we'll help you out. 1619 Brood, how many days a week and what time class will start? Thank you for taking my question. No problem. 1619 Brood. So we're talking about 2 days a week, and that's again Sunday. We're talking about 4.5 hours. That half hour is for your lunch break. We're going to do a full 2-hour block of instruction, do a 30-minute break, and then finish out with another 2-hour block of instruction. Okay. And that's going to be pretty solid. No rushing, going over the material properly with time for questions and answers. And then on that Thursday, we will also have 2 hours to go over a review of what we went over on that previous Sunday. Do any quizzes or any labs will be done on that Thursday. And we'll go from there. Okay. So it's going to take commitment, but it's going to be pretty easy to get through. Okay. Like I said, the problem with the online free videos you might be able to find online, they're not going to spend out. They're not getting paid. They're not going to spend all that time going over it with you like that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like a 6-hour total video for the entire block of instruction. It's going to be speed. It's basically, y'all ever see anybody on Twitch or any of those gaming streaming channels and they do a speed run on the game? That's basically what you're going to get. Okay. Yes. Well, 1 second here. So Ty J says, yes, I want to build apps and sell them in different businesses as solutions to small businesses. I want to know if this would be the path to learn how to do that. Yes, it would be. Absolutely, it would be. Okay. 1619 Brood. Will these be evening classes on Thursday? Yes, they would be. If you look at the registration form, I think it breaks down like the time frame where you're talking about Pacific Standard Time or Central Standard Time or Eastern Standard Time. Most brews tend to be in the Central Standard Time to the Eastern Standard Time. So I believe it's going to be like after 6 p.m. for you guys. I think it's like 6 p.m. Central Standard Time to like 6 to 7, 7 to 8, or 7 to 8, 8 to 9. It's somewhere around there. We'll be all right. Like I said, I definitely feel like to go from underemployment to proper employment, it's going to be good. Okay. Let's see here. Last question. If I'm only familiar with very little AI, meaning I know how to make AI movies and Gemini VO, would I be able to keep up in the class? Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to have any critical experience because, again, we're trying to walk you from knowing nothing or little to having that strong foundational knowledge. Like, I'm not going to let you walk out of here stupid. Like, once you walk, like, the only thing I ask is that I don't need no disclaimers. I don't need no low self-esteem. I don't need no excuses. I just need you to have an aptitude and the willingness to learn. That's what I need. If I can get an aptitude and willingness to learn, you in there. Okay? Because again, like I said, the path that we're going to go on is here. Okay? I'm going to teach. This is my plan. Okay? And like I said, I'm certified in all this stuff. I got over 15 years experience, and I don't like to put my business out there like that, but I'm not broke. You feel me? Like, put it to you this way, and I've only shared this with maybe one other person. There was a time where I essentially was having a challenge internally with the amount of money I was making. Like, I was making so much money in this tech game that I felt bad. I felt guilty for being wealthy. Right? Now, that being said, that's a good problem to have, although it didn't feel good. I mean, I'd rather be wealthy than broke. But because of our relationship with money as a people in general, okay? I'm speaking for myself. when you're pulling strong six-figure numbers at a point in time in your career, and you recognize the struggle, I felt guilty. I shouldn't have felt guilty, but I felt a certain type of way, like I feel bad that I'm making this much money. I'm being 1,000. Like I talked to some prominent people you would know in this Hebrew awakening, and I was like, man, this is, and it might sound shocking to some people, but I'm just gonna say in general, I'm not talking about myself necessarily, but if you went from being broke as hell, eating oatmeal every night, renting rooms, struggle lifing, to pulling mid like 140, 150. Okay. That's a shift. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you look around folks over here that look like you making minimum wage pushing the broom or a mop. And then that goes into something I saw also when I was out in California, was like, sadly in California, like, listen, if you a brew in California, get out. If you a brew in California, escape. We predominantly are the main ones that are homeless out there in California. When I was out there in California and I'm looking on a street curb, on a sidewalk, I'm primarily seeing Hebrew faces, men and women out there hurting. Okay. So that's rough for me. Okay. That's rough for me. It's extremely hard to see that. Okay. So, like I said, anyway, this is definitely something I want to do to give back to our community. Okay. This is for people who are serious. Do not sign up and register if you're not serious. Okay. Trust me. If I get any inkling that you're not really committed or serious, I will return your money back, because I just need serious people that are willing to see the process through and improve their life for their family. I usually don't accept sponsors. Okay. I usually don't accept sponsors, but I will accept sponsors this go around, because there might be some people that they really want to be involved in this program, but they can't afford it right now. And so that will be a help to them. My only issue, I think, this is how I'm gonna work it. Okay. The reason why I've been hesitant all this time not to accept sponsorships is because, like I said, it's a mindset issue. I love y'all. We family, fam. We fam. It's a mindset issue. But when there's no skin in the game, there's a less level of commitment out of the student to complete, because they're lazy, complacent, and they didn't put no money down. So I don't care. Now, I mean, I know you can't make a horse drink, water. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. But I just didn't even want to even get in that situation. You know what I'm saying? I need people that really want to see it through, right? Like I said, that's why, like I said, my time is valuable. This is not me just cranking out a 6-hour video and putting it out there and be like, all right, good luck. By the time this is done, I want you within at least 2 weeks of completion of this course to be able to go ahead. Once we're done in November, I think it's like November 16th is the final day we give out certificates and all kind of stuff, right? And you get your exam vouchers and all that kind of stuff. I need you to schedule your exam, knock it out, report back that you passed. Your resume is on point. Your LinkedIn profile is on point. Your interview game is on point, right? And now you're in a position to where you can go ahead and get those higher earning jobs, those higher earning positions. And we can go down that path to where, like I said, I want to take you from pushing the broom or a mop and saying, how may I help you? Can I take your order? To making some serious money. Okay. And really, I really need to see some men up in here, because you are the leaders of our households. You are the head of our families. And we got to make this happen. Okay. So that's it. I don't see any more questions. We're good to go. Like I said, I will make an edited version of this and or just do a more streamlined version. And then that will point back to this larger video for those that have questions, right? So bottom line, what will happen is once you sign up and register for the course, I'm going to go ahead and reach out to you. I will also try to see about scheduling a time to speak with you on the phone, okay? And then you'll get a zip package that will have kind of like the outline and some of the additional information for you in preparation for the course. You can do this on a tablet. I would say an iPad is preferred, or you can use a laptop computer or a home desktop computer. All you need is Windows 10 or above, Windows 11, Windows 10. And a good internet connection. And we're going to go through this step by step. Like I said, I'm limiting this to 30 students. Okay. This is open and available to all people. There's no restrictions and then no discrimination type move going on. So that being said, please jump on this if you can. And even if you're, let's say you're tight on funds right now, contact me, right? I'll work with you, because again, I'm not here for money. I make good money. I'm here to see you succeed. I'm here to see you at the end of this thing, you walking away with a certification and an opportunity of greater employment. And like I said, I've trained people that have gone on, they've completed the first training for the fundamentals. They've gone on to complete the CompTIA A+ certification, right? So, man, it's possible, all right? Let's see here. Last question I have here is, what can a team do with a certification for youth employment? It's not no youth employment. It's just employment. They're about to get paid. That's just what it comes down to. They're about to get paid. And not no internship. They're going to actually get paid. Regular, like they good. And this is really like as far as teenagers, right? This is important for them. And I'm going to take my time because, like I said, like I got to be blunt. I understand that reading comprehension is not that strong in this generation, and it's multiple factors, right? A lot of these young people, they don't read no books. They don't even read no magazines. Like when we were kids, and I know I'm older, right? When we were all kids, we would walk to the newsstand and buy comic books. Go figure. Spend $1 on some Marvel or DC comic, right? We would go, buy the gaming magazine, right? One of my favorites was Die Hard Game Fan magazine. If you know, you know. It's one of the greatest magazines of all time, right? Die Hard Game Fan magazine, or Old School Game Pro, right? We were reading as children, right? Nowadays, you hand somebody a handwritten letter, they're looking at you like, what is this cryptic writing you put before my face? They can't read cursive or nothing, right? You provide them instructions in a exam or test bank question, and they struggling. So, man, I will take my time with the young people. Like I said, 15 is my threshold. And in fact, I'm actually going to have my own children will likely be in this cohort coming up in September. Because my daughter's about to turn 18 pretty soon. My son just turned 15. So they're both in the good place to go ahead and take this. So it's important. So if you got teenagers, you have nieces and nephews, you just got to grind. Like, listen, you got to hem them up and let them know you got to be focused. I know they want to go outside or go play Xbox or something like that, or, PlayStation. Nah, this is for your future, right? Especially for those that are either about to graduate this year or, you feel what I'm saying? Like they're seniors this year, they need to get in this course. Okay, they got to get in this course. Personal question: do I have the same phone number? Yes, my ministry number is the same. Don't bug me, not you personally, but I'm saying like folks watching, don't be trolling me, right? So 706-250-0181 is my ministry number. That's my general ministry number, so it's all encompassing. Okay. Let's see here. Passing info to a young adult, but my teen took a free summer course, did well on class, and practice exam for CompTIA Tech. We'll take the exam in 2 weeks. That's great. They should do good. They should be fine. Yeah, that teenager will be fine. So they will. What I would say is have them reach out to me, and I will talk to them in regards to the employment aspect of things. As far as, again, making sure your resume is on point, having a LinkedIn profile, even as a teenager or young adult, knowing what to put on there, what not to put on there, privacy settings, and opportunities that are available. Those that take initiative will be rewarded, right? Preparation is key, because the reality is that when you prepare like we're preparing right now, when you prepare, when the opportunities present themselves to you, you'll be glad you prepared all the times because you were ready, versus the opportunity coming to you. It's like, oh, if I only had that certificate I was supposed to get 2 months ago or 2 years ago. Oh, if I only got that degree, right? So I'm done, but a little bit of employment game. We all know this already. Those old folks, we know this already. But things have shifted, okay? If you do not have a college degree, don't stress. Don't worry. The college degree traditionally was a tactic used to gatekeep, right? We want to keep certain people out the workforce. Got to keep certain folks in check, right? So raise the bar. Oh, I know you're probably skilled and qualified for this job, but you don't have a degree, so we got to overlook you and hire somebody else. Gatekeeper move, right? The reality, though, in this situation, even in tech, there's still the gatekeeper move when it comes to a degree. A degree is not important. What's important is, can you do the job? Can you do the work? And are you confident to speak to me about doing the work, right? And if so, you have the job, okay? Because I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of people that are going to be in for a rude awakening, and if you're one of them, I'm sorry. There's a lot of people that spend a lot of money right now. They spend a lot of money in student loan debt and everything else on a degree that's not worth 2 sticks. And it's about to be automated away or AI'd away. And you just stuck with a bag of debt, okay? The degree's not going to help you. There's a lot of folks that have a computer science degree, and that's cool, but there's no experience. So the get you gotcha move is, great, you have a degree, but I'm sorry, we're not going to hire you because you have no experience. So could you imagine that? I'm going to be done here. Could you imagine that? You went all them years, 4 to 6 years, getting your degree, only to be told you don't have no experience. Go get a certification or go get a job somewhere, entry level, and get some training, get some experience. So you went into debt spent 4 of your years grinding and doing essays and all kinds of stuff, only to be told at the end of the day, after your 4 years, you don't got no experience, we can't hire you. Versus someone with no degree, but has the knowledge and a certificate, a certification that says, blessed off by one of the highest respected tech organizations in the world, legit, that when you got this certification, you literally are being blessed off by this organization that you qualify for this position, these roles. We've tested this person and vouched that they can do the job. So that's the reason why the certification is in lieu of experience. Now, don't get too cocky, but the bottom line is if you got these certifications, you're about to get paid because you're going to have a one-up on the guy or gal that spent 4 years of their life getting a computer science degree, but they ain't got no experience. And they have nothing behind them that backs up that they know how to do the job. There's a big difference between head knowledge and actually knowing how to do the job. For instance, once you get into the more advanced certifications like Net Plus, even Linux Plus, Security Plus, CISA Plus, Security X, you could literally get all the multiple choice questions correct. But if you fail the practical simulation questions, you ain't getting no cert. Oh, and by the way, also, because folks try to get on the hustle game. If you try to do the little cheat websites where it's like, spend $50 or $100 or something, and we'll give you the actual test answers, question and answer type move. You try to cheat. You do know what we about here in this tech life, right? They ain't playing. They gangster out here. You didn't know you was actually buying your little mind dump cheat sheet from CompTIA. So now they got your name, they got your address, they got your email. You done try to cheat with CompTIA themselves, buying some brain dump online, trying to cheat on the exam. So you can go ahead and study your 60 questions real quick. So there's folks right now that they getting their license, their certification revoked because they got caught trying to cheat. These folks ain't playing. They guard their certification like Fort Knox. You ain't get up in there. Okay. And that's the reason why it's the most preeminent certifying body technology-wise in the world. So I'm gonna finish this out. I don't care if you want to do entry-level tech work like help desk or something like that, or level 1, level 2, level 3 help desk. I don't care if you want to be a network administrator. I don't care if you want to be a security admin. What your situation is, right? This is the right path to start on. And for many of us that are underemployed, you will see a significant increase in your income. No doubt about it. So I'm done. If you guys have any other questions, you can go ahead and email me at getcertified@hebrewconnect.com. Again, this training is open for everyone. You don't got to be Hebrew Israelite to join, but this is definitely targeted towards young people, those that are entering the job market, those that are underemployed, those that are mid-career and trying to transition into technology. And like I said, I'm going to give you the foundations you need to get a pay in that, a boost in pay, essentially, a pay increase. All right. So the path we're going to go on over the next year is going to be CompTIA Tech Plus certification, then transitioning to Linux Plus certification. And we'll explain what that is later when we get to it. We ain't there yet. But it's basically an operating system. It's really probably the most popular operating system in the world. All right. Your cell phone, Android, is based off of Linux. Your Mac OS, your MacBook, is based off of Linux. Yeah, everything primarily is going to be rooted with a Linux on it. A lot of your servers that are out there in the real world are going to be Linux. That's why that's the next step. We give you the Tech Plus foundations first, then we go into Linux. That's going to be a big bump. It's going to be strong to learn about Linux, but we're going to do it together. Then we're going to go ahead and go into Network Plus and get those networking basics down, right? And then we're going to go into Cloud Plus. This is where the money's at. The real money's at, up in here, right? You're looking at your $90,000 range and above right here. And then once you get up in here, yeah, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It's good. It's good times right here. All right. And again, these two areas are the future. You talk about artificial intelligence, it's going to be here, and it's going to be here. Okay. And again, all of this is going to help you out. No fat here. No fat. We all up in here. This is it. Okay. So, like I said, for those of you that sign up, I will be contacting you, and we'll have a telephone interview, kind of go over your goals and everything like that. You'll get the full outline, the schedule. You'll get the link for your study guide. Again, we're going to go off of the official CompTIA study guide. And then I have my own custom slides that go into more detail than the surface. And we're going to touch on a lot of these different topics in a way that when you're done with this course, you will be confident to speak to it in an interview and get the job. All right. So looking forward to meeting with you all and working with you all. And last thing I'll say is this: for those that have taken the course in the past and you want to kind of sit in, I have no problem with prior students coming in to sit in. Another thing I did not state, I'm debating on what I want to do. There is a student group that'll be available on Hebrew Connect for you to join into. It's a private group. You're able to share your resources and information and all that kind of stuff. The videos will be recorded. It's not live streamed like on YouTube and anything like that. It's all privately recorded, but those videos of the sessions will be available to review once we've completed them. So let's say we meet on that Sunday. It's going to be recorded. That recording will be uploaded to the group for you to review throughout that week, take notes and revisit things, right? I'm debating about also possibly doing a Discord specifically for this group as well. I'm not really a big Discord person, but I know that a lot of people are into that. And there's voice chat ability in Discord as well. So for the purposes of our class, I might do both. I might do a Discord channel and have a private HebrewConnect.com channel for us to be able to go ahead as a class and go over everything. Again, lastly, all this, this training is available for everyone. You don't got to be Hebrew Israelite to be up in here. Just understand that we are going to pray. So don't be side-eyeing and looking crazy. It's going to be kind of weird for you, all right? Because we are Hebrews. This program is Get Certified Hebrews in Tech. So you just visiting, hanging out, and enjoying the benefits, okay? Because again, if I were to transition this into like a full-time thing, right, I would have to charge way more money. And I'm not trying to do that right now. So anyway, last question. What if you don't doing a lot right now? I'm assuming that's doing a lot right now. I don't know what doing a lot right now is. If you are doing a lot right now, you probably don't want to do this. you already know you're doing too much as it is right now. So therefore, I wouldn't want you to waste your money. But what I will say is this: I'm cool for this. If after the first week, if you do want to give it a try, if after the first week you're like, this is over my head, I can't do it for some reason, I mean, that's a shame. But if that's the case, I don't mind refunding your money back within that first week. And it's no harm, no foul, right? So what's it say? I don't know what that means. Just rephrase the whole thing, because you're saying, what if you don't a lot right now? I guess, are you saying if you don't know a lot right now about IT? Yeah, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. All I demand, and this is a demand, what I demand is that you don't give up. You can't give up. I don't care that you don't know a lot about information technology. That's fine. You just can't be, you can't have a defeated mindset. I can't tolerate that. It's nothing personal. This is for anybody. I can't tolerate a defeated mind, and you got all these disclaimers, and ain't nobody try to hear all that. We're going to, like I said, we're not rushing through this. And in reality, you're the kind of person that we are looking for, because like I said, if you don't know a lot about information technology, and even though this is a fundamental foundational certification, it covers all the topics. It's not lightweight. Like I said, by the time you're done with my training course, I could throw you in pretty much any interview situation and you would sound intelligent. And you would be able to, most likely, get that job, because you would have the confidence that it's not like I'm just telling you to do step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you don't know why you're doing those steps. You're going to know about step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and why you have to do those steps. And that's the reason why the class is not 8 hours a day for 5 days. Fire hose type move on you, right? It's literally paced properly so that even with your regular life, you're not going to be too stressed out. You know what I'm saying? Now, I personally would like to get it done in 30 days. I think like let's say, was that 8 weeks, or was that 4 weeks and 8 sessions. That would be great. But I know that from past experience, there are some people that need a little bit more time. You need more time to process. You need personal time to study. You already got other life issues going on, right? You might have other ministry issues going on, other requirements happening. So having a proper 10-week course is going to give you the extra pacing you need to not feel rushed. So hopefully that answers the question. You're perfectly fine if you don't know a lot about IT, because this is exactly who it's for. It's for people who are, again, fresh out of high school, or you're a young adult that's underemployed pushing the broom, or you're a mid-career person that recognizes that you're about to lose your job from automation and AI. So you try and get in front of it while you can now. And again, $250 versus $2,500 is a pretty good bet. Plus, if you're faithful to complete the certificate, the training, you get a free exam voucher. That's what I'm talking about. And you get an official study guide. So all in all, you could say the training is going to cost you what? $75 or something like that. $50? I don't know. Yeah, but $50. You know what I'm saying? So you're all good. You're all good. So please stress to people that you don't have to be some already IT, IS guru to take this course. All right. I'll pray us out. Y'all, thank you for this time that we've had. We thank you for watching over us. We thank you for just blessing us. I pray that each and every one of us that are here on this conference call right now, this video, this live stream, we have restful sleep. I thank you for divine health and healing and wholeness in body, mind, soul, and spirit. We lift up our entire households to you right now. We ask for you to send forth your Malachim to watch over us and protect us as we sleep and rest. And we thank you for the opportunity to come together as a community and to learn these skills and to upskill in this ever-changing market. We also just pray that our hearts and minds are open and repentant to you. We know you're soon to come, and we just pray that our hearts are prepared to stand before you in your glory. May you be blessed, each and every one of you that are listening to the sound of my voice. And I pray you have restful sleep. In the name above every name, the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, we pray. Amen, amen, and hallelujah. You guys have a restful evening. Like I said, I will see about making a condensed version of this sometime this week. The deadline to enroll is August 31st. Once you do enroll, though, I will be reaching out to you via email or phone call to establish that time to have that conversation, to find out what your goals are, and to make sure that we get those goals accomplished. Okay. And like I said, this is gonna be, if you're 15 and above, you in there, you good. Okay. 15 and above is good. And all I ask is be committed to see the training through, and know that this definitely will transform your life if you're committed. All right, you guys have a good night. Shalom.